Let's talk about what to look at on a roof from the street. Before you knock or before you walk in for an appointment, or if you're selling remotely before you start a meeting, you want to look at the Google Street View, look at the satellite view, try to get as much information about the roof as you can. Before you knock, you want to look for warning signs, look for, missing tiles, missing shingles, damage of any kind, buckets, tarps, anything like that up on the roof, something that you can talk about and you can ask about. And then mobile homes or manufactured homes like this, for solar, they may be challenging, but if you're just selling roofs, these are express permits. They don't have to go through plan check. They don't have the same structural requirements as solar does. So if it has a wood structure, wood rafters, wood sheeting, and a normal roof type like comp shingle or tile or rolled comp or torch down, something like that, we can re-roof those. We're good. But if you're talking about a metal mobile home or like a tin can, we don't do tin cans, but wood structure, real roofing, we're in business. Now, when you are going to look at the house before you knock, you're going to look for damage, things like, pieces of shingles starting to fall off. The ridge is going to wear away before the rest of the field, before most of the roof. So if you have ridge along the edges like that, or ridge up at the top, look at the condition of that ridge. And if you see pieces and stuff starting to fall, you could probably, as you do a walk around, once you knock and you talk to the homeowner and you guys start walking around the property, highly suggest doing a walk around as much as you can. Look at the roof, look at your surroundings, and you can probably, if it's a bad roof, find pieces of the roof somewhere as you're walking around. That's always powerful to spot like a piece of the ridge that has fallen off and is laying on the grass, and you pick that up and you hand it to the homeowner. I would always say, I think this belongs to you. And it's a polite way of telling someone, you need a new roof. Of course you do. Once you get in the house, or once you actually get engaged with the homeowner, my favorite discovery question sounds simple, but how long have you been here? Right? How long have you guys been here? They just bought the house, other than their inspections, they don't know the history of the roof. And that tells you where you're going to take that conversation. And it's great because people that have just bought a house are always thinking long-term. This is their baby. This is their nest egg. This is their investment. They want to protect it. That's a whole mentality that you're going to deal with. And those people are typically buyers, right? If they've been there 20 years, my next follow-up question, wow, 20 years is a long time. If I'm selling solar, I would always ask, how much were you paying 20 years ago? If I'm asking about a roof, right, I'm here to talk roofing with them. 20 years, wow, that's a long time. When's the last time you've done anything to the roof? I don't ask when's the last time you re-roofed. I don't ask how old the roof is. I don't ask if you've had any roof leaks, because those are all closed-ended yes or no questions. I ask, how long have you been here? Let them talk. You may find one or two other questions to ask right after that. And then, when's the last time anything was done to the roof? And then whatever they say, I don't know, or 6 months ago, or they had a roof leak, or it was re-roofed 15 years ago, or whatever. They've been here 30 years, 20 years, whatever. Nothing's ever happened. My follow-up was, okay, have you had any problems with the roof? Tell me about it. What problems have you had? Tell me about, like, the last time they did something to the roof. Oh, we had roof work done, 6 months ago. Okay, tell me about it. And then just shut up and let them talk. Even if it's awkward, even if they don't like it, it's uncomfortable. I promise if you just tell me about it, and then you don't say anything, they will eventually tell you about it, even if it's really awkward. And that will tell you about how they buy. That'll tell you about their thought process when they had a leak or when they had an issue. And if they've never done anything to the roof, then you already know however long they've been there, that's how old the roof is. Roofs have a life expectancy of 20 to 30 years. So if they haven't done anything to the roof in over 20 years, chances are they're going to need to start budgeting and planning to do something to the roof. And then the conversation will go into inflation and how everything starts costing more today than it did 10 years ago. And you can talk about being proactive and avoiding damages and all of that stuff, and how you have these awesome loans and take care of this roof now before it's more expensive, before you have to pay for paint and drywall too. Best closing techniques that I have, the no interest, no payment loan are great for anyone that's in an insurance claim. If they say that, oh, I think I have, shingles that blew off, I was going to talk to my insurance about it. Great. I have an amazing option for you that gives you a whole year to try to get this covered. No interest, no payments. You don't pay anything. You're not being charged interest. And then worst case scenario, if you don't get it taken care of in a year, it's just a 10-year loan. It's 9.99 interest, easy peasy, and it gives you that whole buffer to take care of it. That gives people the opportunity to do the insurance claim with and get the roof taken care of at the same time. If they're like most people, they just want the lowest payment possible, then you go with the lowest term. Hey, I have great financing. I got X term at X interest rate. Let's take care of you. Most roofers don't have good financing. So putting that out early and often, and then using that as a closing technique. Here, we've built the proposal. This is what makes sense to you. And then my follow-up question, anytime I start getting buying signals or objections, which is also a buying signal at the end of my proposal, once they can tell, like you've told them the price, like the shoe is dropped, and they're getting ready to either tell you no or tell you let's do it. Objections are a buying signal. And I answer that objection, I deal with it, I talk to them about it. And then my favorite line, to discover what the real issue is. Okay, it seems like you need a new roof. We talked about why. Something is keeping this from being a no-brainer for you. What is it? And usually the first response is going to be something basic or simple. Oh, I got to talk to my wife, or oh, the price, or oh, I got to get 3 quotes. I got to compare. Okay, and what else? AWE, and what else? Every time you ask about an objection when you're ready to close, and what else? And then be quiet and wait for them to answer. If you wait and you're good at that, and what else, they will tell you. So seems like you like the idea of getting this roof done. Something is stopping it from being a no-brainer. We've talked about the reasons why, but there's still something holding you back. What is it? Oh, I need more time to talk to my wife. Great. And what else? And you embrace that silence and embrace that awkward, and they'll eventually tell you, okay, I hear you got to talk to your wife. And I'll start taking notes sometimes. So it's like they can see I'm taking notes. I'm not closing. I'm not pushing them. I'm not immediately answering. I'm taking notes. Okay, you got to talk to your wife. Okay, you got to check with your credit union. You think you could get a better interest rate? Totally understand. What else? And I don't even look at them. I'm looking at my paper. I'm taking notes and I'm waiting for them to tell me. And I will pause like time has stopped ticking and the earth has stopped moving until they talk. And they will give you some more answers. And you'll eventually kind of come up with a list. Okay, so it sounds like you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then there are ways that you can close if you're a really expert seasoned pro. And if not, there are ways that you can schedule a hard follow-up. But that's been my best success, in closing and pivoting. And my favorite close is check your email. I just emailed you something. And then you check your email and you're talking about, okay, click here, let me read you the agreement. And then you can show them where and how to sign.